You guys. It has been a very crazy, crazy week. We had our conference on Saturday, and Friday night. Then we had meetings with a few other people. And then Sunday, thankfully, we had a chance to meet with Apostles Craig and Colette one more time before we flew out. And then yesterday, we were celebrating my youngest sister's birthday until like 1 in the morning. And our flight was scheduled to depart at 7 a.m. So we had to be at the airport by 5 a.m. in the morning. So it's been a very crazy 24 hours so far. I won't lie, I did not sleep. Michael and I did not nap between guests leaving, finishing packing, and then getting to the airport. So if I end up biting my tongue or stumbling over a few words, I do apologize. You're gonna have to bear with me a little bit here. What's going on over there, Jodia? Talk to me.
It
We
says
haven't
we're
gotten a notification.
live.
Oh, beautiful. We are live then. I do see that notification. Hello, tribe from all over the world. It is good to see you guys again. Welcome to a Wednesday's mentorship meetups. I am your host, your big sister, your mentor, Deborah Ann Danae Felthazen. If you are watching this live on Facebook, I really encourage you, please drop in the comment section where you are joining us from, what country you're from, what nationality you are, so that we can celebrate with you, we can connect with you, because tribe is all about connection. Tribe is all about keeping that connection, not only with the Lord, but with each other, and pursuing where God is setting us forward in our destinies. And today's mentorship meetup, I want to begin with an introduction, because on the 20th of June, we begin our next course in prophetic leadership. And I want to help you guys really unlock your prophetic leadership potential. Every single one of you, do you believe? I want you to answer this question for me. Drop it in the comment section, drop it in the chat box, wherever you are. Are you called as a prophet? Are you called as a prophet? Is that your call? And I'm not just talking the body ministry of prophecy here, okay? This is prophetic tribe. We trained prophetic champions. This is not a school. This is not a message for everybody. Are you called to be a prophet? Are you called to work alongside a pastor, to build and to establish? If the answer is yes, I am called as a prophet, God has told me I'm called to be a prophet, then I need you to understand you are called to leadership. Because being a prophet is a leadership position. When we look throughout the word, every single prophet was put in a position of leadership, not just over the people of Israel, but how they served their kings and the queens, and how they served the people they were positioned over and under. I consider the prophetess Deborah, who was a leader alongside King Barak, and how she went to war with him. I consider Mordecai really being the prophet to Queen Esther, and coming to her and saying, hey, this is what's going on. And if you don't be obedient to the God and you don't do something about this, we're all going to die. When I see the prophet Nathan, when I see Samuel, Elijah, Elisha, when I see all of these prophets, all of the judges of Israel who stood up in the prophetic mantle, I see leaders. I see those who led the people to recovery, who led the people to victory, who led them to repentance, and also to forgiveness with God the Father. This is the call of the prophet. And we are going to be starting, like I said, our prophetic leadership course on June 20th. So for those of you who are not yet tribe members, I really encourage you to go to myprophetictribe.com and submit an application so Michael and I can sit down with you. We can discuss your call. We can discuss where God is leading you and help really position you to receive the most out of your prophetic destiny. Because if you are called as a prophet, you are called to leadership. And odds are you've already been feeling that pull towards leadership. You know, leaders have this ability to see things others don't. We see needs, we see problems, and we get solutions to those problems almost unconsciously. Sometimes we're not even seeking God. We're not even trying to get an intense revelation. We will just see a need, we will see a problem, and the solution almost comes to us naturally because God is giving us that naturalistic revelation according to our call. You were formed in your mother's womb to be a natural born leader. The problem is sometimes life happens and we face some setbacks in life. We face some hurts, we get some trauma, and we can swing to one of two extremes. Either we're the kind of prophet that stands all on their own and is a loud mouth proclaiming everything that God is saying that others need to do, or we become the timid prophet that doesn't speak up and is maybe sometimes too ashamed, too afraid, too nervous to speak up and share what God is saying, and to be bold enough to proclaim, like, hey, something is going on here. Don't you see this needs to be fixed? And as we work through this course, what my goal is to do with you is to help bring these two together, because both sides are needed. We need somebody who's going to be bold, who's going to be brash, and not afraid to stand on their own 2 feet. But we also need somebody who's tempered and willing to be gentle and listen and pay attention to what God is doing in their lives and in the lives of the people. And this is the core of your leadership potential. You already are the prophet. You already are the leader God needs you to be. It's just your character needs some shaping. And look, you can go through character shaping on your own. But if you want to be a good leader learns how to lead by example. A good leader learns how to lead by serving. A good leader learns how to lead by developing relationships. In fact, when I consider, let's look at the prophetess Deborah, since this was one of the first people God brought to mind when I was beginning to seek him on prophetic leadership. We see Deborah sitting under the tree and she's ministering to the people and she's doing all of these things, and she's considered a mother to Israel. Now, where in your right mind in this passage of scripture does it say she was this strong warrior woman who knew how to fight, who knew how to pick up a sword and ride a horse and would be able to just go into war with the men? It doesn't say that. Yet when the armies attacked and the enemy came and the word came that Barak needed to go to war, who did he call on? He called on Deborah and said, I believe that we will win, but I need you to come with me. Because if you're by my side, I know we will win for sure. And so she picks up that sword, she picks up that weapon, and she goes to war, and she leads the Israelites to victory. She leads them to victory. Let me tell you this. I have no doubt she did not lead those Israelites to victory because she swung a sword so well. She led those Israelites to victory because she was a leader, and when she spoke, she was so trusted and she had such a character that was tempered that the people heard her voice. They heard her voice. They knew her voice. They trusted her voice. And when she said, jump left, they jumped left. When she said duck, they ducked. When she said jump up, they said how high, because they knew her, they trusted her, they had heard her voice, and she had been there with them through many trials and tribulations. She had been a well-known voice in the community, but she did not start there. She had to grow into that position. She did not just randomly one day come and sit under that tree and start handing out random bits and pieces of advice. No, it started in serving. It started in being a good mother. It started in being a good wife. It started in being a reputable woman. And she built up that reputation till such a time as she was indeed a leader. Now, here's the thing. You don't necessarily have to be in a position to lead. Come on, how many of you have witnessed this? Maybe let's go back to high school days. Let's go back to those high school days. There were always the cliques and there was always the popular kids who were doing all of this stuff. Now, who went out of their way? Were they actually elected leader of that group? No, they weren't. Nobody went out of their way to elect that girl, that boy was going to be the leader of the popular group. They just did because they had this natural star quality and personality that drew people to them, that they listened to everything that they had to say. And I want to teach you in this course how to be a leader without needing the position, because you are meant to be a leader in every avenue of your life. You're not meant to be a leader as in the leader in a leadership position. You're not meant to be a leader in a boss position in your workplace. No, you're meant to be a leader in every area of your life. And then it covers more than just bossing people around. That means taking charge. That means recognizing the problems and learning how to come up with solutions that bring unity and bring people together. In last week's mentorship meetup, my husband, Prophet Michael Feltes, your big brother and fellow tribe director, he really hit the nail on the head. He was talking about warfare and that as well. And he spoke about unity and how unity is a powerful tool to bringing breakthrough and really stepping into also that supernatural realm, because where two or three are gathered in God's name, there he is. There the power lies. And when you are a leader, your superpower is not bossing people around. Your superpower is bringing people together. And God is calling you, champion, to bring people together. And this is what you're going to learn as we work through the prophetic leadership course, how to bring people together, how to identify the potential in others and pull it out. You know, as a mentor, it is my job to form you into the diamond that's going to go into the right setting. You know, you see this beautiful wedding ring right here. You see this ring? It's gorgeous. And as a mentor, it is my job to make sure that those four little diamonds sit in this place setting correctly and shine the most, that they are perfectly in position, perfectly in place. However, what a leader does is he sits there and he says, you know what? You're an emerald. You are gold. You are silver. I know you really want to be a diamond that sits in that main place setting, but actually you are the gold that is holding all of these jewels together to make a beautiful masterpiece. And he pulls out that potential and he puts them into a position or into a frame of mind that will bring out the biggest potential in them. And you have this natural ability as a prophet. You've got this one up. And I know I keep saying this. I keep saying you have this natural ability in you, this natural gifting within you. And I mean it. You really do have this within you. As a prophet, you are consistently getting unconscious revelation about circumstances and about people around you. I want to teach you how to do this on purpose now, because you've been doing it unconsciously and you've been wondering why it worked sometimes and why it didn't other times. There have been times where you've been in conversation with people and such breakthrough and power comes through and you make this intense connection that brings power in times of worship, in times of prayer, even in just general fellowship, in your workplace. Doors open, finances flow, power, miracles, all of these things happen. And then there are other times where you do the same thing with someone else and it does not work at all. Why? Well, that's what we're going to learn in the prophetic leadership course. But I want you to recognize that you are already sensing these things naturally within you. I want you to take a moment to consider all these different relationships that you have in your life, whether it is your spouse, whether it is your children, friends, co-workers, fellow ministers, maybe it's just your neighbors or it's that person at the grocery store. I want you to consider what you are picking up about those people, because God is highlighting things about them to you. And this is a fun game to play. And I want to encourage you guys to play this game. Find something new to express that you like about that person. Maybe it is their nail polish. If they're a woman, you see they had their nails done and they look really nice and you find something cool about that. Express that to them. This is your fun game I want you guys to play this week. To find something to pull up in them, to encourage in them that they're really good at. Oh, okay, they do their own nails. Wow, you're really talented. You should totally invest in that more. You do your own hair. I love the way you did this thing. And for you men, I know I'm using some cosmetology and beauty standards that maybe you don't understand. Well, now's a good time to learn. Now's a good time to start having those conversations and having your wives and your girlfriends and your moms and your sisters teach you a thing or two. Because if you want to bring unity, guess what? Your teams are not just going to be men and women, or just men or just women. It is going to be a mix. It's not just going to be older men or older women or younger men or younger women. Your team is going to be diverse, as it should be. You should have a diverse team, because a diverse team means you get better work done. When we look at David and his mighty men, now David, we know, was a leader for sure. But what you don't understand is that his mighty men were leaders of their own mighty men, of their own platoons too. They just happened to serve a mighty man of valor. But when you look at them, each one was very specialized, different ages, different groups, different skill sets, different weapons, different heights, different builds, different colors. And when these guys came together, maybe they looked like a crazy bunch, but they were a well-oiled machine. When the mighty men came together at David's back, there was no gap left for the enemy to hit on. And your team is going to do the same thing. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm going to teach you how to build such a team that is loyal. Now, this is something that I'm going to say, and it's probably going to cause a little controversy. It's probably going to cause maybe even a little bit of offense, but I want you to hear me out and listen carefully to what I'm going to say here. There are many times in my life where I have been accused of being brainwashed. I have been accused of being under the control of my leaders and not having my own thought, because I serve under my leader so specifically. And I want you to recognize something. You have been called this before as well. You're a prophet who loves to serve. And there have been times where people have accused you of the exact same things, of being brainwashed. But I want you to understand there is a difference between being loyal and being brainwashed. When you step up as a leader, it is natural to expect loyalty from your mighty men. I'm not talking just anybody in your membership group, okay? I'm not talking members in your church or in your ministry. I'm talking about champions that are going to go up against Saul's armies for you. I'm talking about champions that are going to break through the ranks to get to the well of water, to get you a cup of water. These are the kind of mighty men and champions you're going to want to raise, and I'm going to teach you how to raise as we work through the prophetic leadership course. Because if you are going to establish the pattern that your apostle is calling you to establish, or the ministry that God has placed on you to establish, you need such loyalty. Loyalty that will be going into enemy territory and being a mercenary. Loyalty that says, you could have killed Saul right then and there, but you chose not to. Why? Let me learn, let me understand, and let me flow with you. This is the kind of team that you're going to build when you can bring that loyalty. And God is going to position you by first testing your loyalty. He's going to test your loyalty, just as David's loyalty to the king was tested. When he threw spears at him, when those demons manifested on him and he was chased out, and he again went to his father and said, why are you chasing me? What have I done wrong? He did this 2 or 3 times in the word, and continued to honor Saul in everything that he did. That kind of loyalty won him the kingdom. So we're going to look at these 2 aspects of your loyalty being tested and how to build loyalty within your team. Because if you're going to get people to follow you and you're going to be a good leader, you need to inspire that kind of loyalty. You need to be an inspiration to your team to want to grow, to want to change, to want to do the job, to want to do the work. We're not looking for anybody that's doing this out of obligation. We're looking for teams and people who are on fire for God as much as you are on fire for God. And this is the other question I want to ask you. What burns in you? What is your fire? What is your fire? Because those whom you are going to lead are going to want that fire too. And you need to be clear on what your fire is. clear on who you are. I had this opportunity with my husband to visit a conference this weekend with Prophet Linda Cowles, and she is the head intercessor and dean of the Bible College of the River Claremont Church there in Claremont, Florida. And she introduced us to the Diamond Daughters, and this is a cohort of prayer champions that have been praying together every single day for 14 years. 14 years praying together all over the world, all over the country, never missing a day, to the point where if people call saying, I've got cancer, they know that by telling the Diamond Daughters and asking them to pray, they will be healed. Because that is their track record as intercessors. That is who they are. That is who they specialize in. Now, look, I am not a specialist in intercession. I can do intercession. It is something that I am required to do as a prophet, and I can do, and I do. But when I look at my ministry, it is not my fire. It is not what God has raised me to do. It is not where I have been processed for. And so how weird would it be for me to try and raise up a team of loyal intercessors to run an intercessory ministry when that is not my fire? That is not my mandate that God has given me. Maybe in the future, my next mandate might be that. But at this time, in this place, in this position, where God has me is to train up the next generation of prophets and to equip you to raise up your own teams and to raise up others who will take over your mantles one day. That is where I have been commissioned at this time. And so I'm going to work with those of the same fire. And so you want to recognize, where is your fire? Where has God mandated and commissioned you at this time? So to help you guys prepare for our next class, I want to recommend you guys start working through the book, How to Get People to Follow You by Colette Toach. If you are one of my tribe members, you need to check your benefits, because you should be able to get this ebook for free, and you can go and download and read it. If you have not already received the download link, you should be getting it by end of day tomorrow, the latest. If you don't want to wait that long, you are welcome to go head on over to the Colette Toach store, and you can go purchase the book for yourself. And another book I want to recommend you have a look at is called Commissioned and Mandated. This is going to help you recognize where you are in your mandate process. Perhaps you're at the beginning and you're receiving the training. Maybe you're in the middle and you're completing. Or maybe you finally reached the end and God is rebooting you and you're back to the training for a new mandate. You need to recognize where your fire is, what your fire is, so that when you begin sending out the trumpet call and calling your mighty men to arms, you know what your mighty men look like, sound like, and feel like. You know who your people is. I am here in this course of prophetic leadership to help you build and establish your own tribe. Maybe it's not the next gen prophets or my prophetic tribe. Maybe it's my intercessory tribe. Maybe it is my preaching tribe. Maybe it is my writing tribe. I don't know. What is your tribe? What is your banner, champion? Because in this next course, starting June 20th, I'm going to help you solidify your banner so that when you wave your flag high, you call to you fellow champions that will run alongside you and will build and establish the pattern that your apostle and God has tasked you with building. So, as you can hear, my boys are already starting to wake up. We just hopped off a plane literally like an hour or two ago. So we need to go check into our hotel, go get some sleep, and hopefully find some lunch, dinner. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But for those of you who are watching on social media, go submit an application at myprophetictribe.com. Let's get connected. And for my tribe members, if you know somebody who's been called to prophetic leadership and needs to unlock their leadership capabilities, don't dilly-dally. Go and refer them. Go send them and say, hey, you need to submit an application. You need to get involved here. Go watch this replay of this mentorship meetup, and let's get them connected. Let's get them raised up, because prophets, champions, you are a leader. And God expects the most of you, and I expect the most of you, and I want to see you succeed. So let's make sure we see you succeed. Now, Next week, my husband is going to take over this conversation, and you need to know something about your big brother. He is your greatest cheerleader. You, while I'm sitting training and equipping you, make no mistake. He is your cheerleader. He is going to come with that word of encouragement. He's going to come with that word of breakthrough to help you overcome any insecurities that could be standing in the way of you fully embracing your mandate as a prophetic leader, as a champion, and really embracing the sharpness of your sword, because some of you have some incredibly sharp swords and some of you have scalpels, and you've hurt people trying to lead. You've said the wrong things sometimes, and it sucks. And you've gone off the beaten path a few times. Well, next week, my husband, Michael Felthazen, your big brother, is going to come and he's going to give you that word of encouragement. He's going to bring some healing. He's going to bring some peace. And he's going to bring you the boldness and impartation you need to really embrace your call as a prophetic champion. So this is your big sister getting ready to sign up. I love you guys tons. I will see you around on our community. And if not, I will definitely see you in our class next. Is it next week already? No, I think the week after that. But we love you guys tons. Mwah. And we will see you then. Bye-bye.